Hello HEMA friends and welcome to this new video. So today we keep going with our quarantine exercises, and today in the specific we will work on our footwork, and we will see a number of exercises to train our footwork in different ways. So for the first exercise we need a timer, like a fitness timer. If you don't own one of them, like me for example, you can simply download an application on your smartphone. I am using a Tabata timer, I think, yes, which is kind of good. Anyway, the first exercise, we are going to simply do a number of repetitions of the half step. We will do it in two different ways, and with of course both the leg forward, alternatively of course, and we are going to execute for every exercise 8 repetitions of 30 seconds each. You can decide how much time you want to keep between the repetitions for resting, basically. I would say that the best is 30 seconds of activity and 20 seconds of rest. So for the first series of repetitions, we will execute our footwork with the back foot perpendicular to the front foot. While for the second series of 8 repetitions, we will keep our back foot parallel to the front foot with the heel raised from the ground. As you are at home, I would advise you to try to do this exercise like me, barefooted, but of course you do whatever you want. So the progression through this exercise is extremely simple. So the first repetition is 1 step forward and 1 step backward. The second is 2 step forward and 2 step backward, and so on till you reach 4 step forward and 4 step backward. Then you change foot and you repeat from the beginning. After you end the first 8 repetitions, you take some time to rest, just 1 or 2 minutes, then you change the back foot position and you start again. So the first exercise is quite long and is quite tiring, but is extremely useful to prepare our legs for the further exercises. Now the next one, which we will go to execute right now, it's all about improving our second type of half step, the one with parallel feet basically, in which it's really important to push with our back foot. And in general is something that, due to the way in which we work around in our normal life basically with the different kind of footwear, we are not really good at doing. So for us it's quite hard to push with the back foot. And now we are going to improve these simple aspects of our footwork, or basically our walking. And we will do it with a very simple exercise which we will do against a wall. So everything in this exercise is pretty simple. You just have to position in front of a wall. You put your hands on the wall with the arms slightly bent. You don't want to have a stiff structure, but you want to oppose just a little bit of resistance, and then you push with your back foot. The third exercise increases our ability to move sideways, which is kind of hard in general to do. And it's basically side walking or crab walking or whatever you want to call it. And you can do it both as a free body exercise or with the elastic band. So let's watch it. So when you use the elastic band, keep in mind that putting the elastic band over your knee is not a good idea. So either you place it just slightly under your knee or slightly over your knee, but because it's hard to keep it over in general. It's better to keep it under the knee. This is at least my personal opinion. So you just put the elastic band on at the degree of resistance that you want, and it really depends on which kind of elastic band you have. So this one is really light simply because going with a resistance in the direction in which the knee doesn't want to bend is not a great idea. So you have to, especially if you do it in an exaggerated way. So if you exaggerate, it's always wrong. If you do it slightly, you just add a bit of resistance, it's perfectly fine. And this depends also on your fitness qualities, basically. So if you are the kind of person that has, when he's on guard in a front position, the front knee that is bending toward the inside, sometimes people have this problem, you never ever have to do this exercise with the elastic band, never. And in general, also training the other exercise is good, of course, but you have to do slightly lesser. Instead, I give you another exercise which is very good for you to compensate this problem on the long run. So let's watch it. So we are in our standard guard position, but we are close to our wall with the feet which is very close to our wall. The goal of this exercise is push our front knee toward the wall and keep this push as much as possible. We can work with this exercise as for the first one with a timer. We can put, let's say, 1 minute, and for 1 minute we have to keep pushing toward the wall. We will feel it in our joints, not in our joints, in our muscles of especially the upper leg. But if you have problem to your knees, in general, you will feel all the leg working. Especially if you don't, because you have the habit to do this kind of thing, like collapsing to the inside. Instead, you want to push and compensate this problem. So guys, we are at the end of our video. Because you have time at home right now, I will suggest you to go through this exercise and instead of just keeping your training, try to use this time to improve at least some part of your training. You can work on footwork with these exercises, and especially if you have little problems, like for example the last one that I have explained to you, the knee collapsing to the inside, you can work over it like in 30-40 days of hard work. You can even manage to compensate it. So try this at home, and well, thanks for watching guys. See you next time.